People are shocked. Why isn't the Conservative Party stopping immigration? That is their biggest thing. They would guaranteed win the next election if they stopped immigration. 100%, even though they've got the biggest gap ever. Currently it's 50% Labour and only 12% Conservative. If they stopped immigration, I can guarantee you right now, they would win. So why aren't they doing it? So I've seen a lot of programs discuss this, Talk TV, GB News, and let me just go through it quickly. So the Tories came into power in 2010 on the basis of David Cameron's promise, we will reduce immigration into the tens of thousands. It was about 100,000, 150,000 at that time. We will reduce it into the tens of thousands. Okay, so they won. Okay, that didn't work out well. They didn't. It went up to 250. So then they said, okay, we're going to do the Brexit referendum. We're going to take back control. Now, if they wouldn't have said take back control, meaning take back control of our borders and therefore stop immigration, there's no way Brexit would have occurred. If they said, take back control of the passports and take back control of, I don't know, laws on cucumbers, no one would give a damn. It wouldn't have passed, right? People only voted for Brexit because they said, we're going to take back control of our borders and basically be able to stop immigration. Great, so everyone voted, and then still nothing. Boris Johnson, 2019. Vote me. I'm going to firstly implement Brexit, which hadn't even been done until that time yet, and we're going to take back control. We're going to close our borders. What did he do? At the same time, he actually increased the legal migration, and he made it go up from, at that time, about 250,000 to now 750,000 a year. That's 3 times what it was when he came in 2019. And that's been 2021, 2022, and 2023. Net 750,000. So that's about, 2.25 million people have come in. And if you're going by real numbers, it's about 4 million, but the 1.5 million that left are good, clever people, doctors and nurses, and 4 million benefit bums, basically, with no experience, no skills, men of fighting age, you don't care, you know who they are, right? You know very well which minority we're talking about. Coming in, and that's it. So 4 million of those have come in, and 1.5 million doctors and nurses have left. Okay, so why wouldn't the Tories actually implement what they said? And then we have Suella Braverman, who said, she did a deal with Sunak. I will allow you to become Prime Minister, because there was a fight at the time. I'll support you. I'll give you my support if you promise me, please, just promise me, we're going to increase these legal migration thresholds, currently allowing basically anyone who is a student and their dependents to come in, and then I'll support you. He said, yeah, no problem. Then he broke it and he fired her. And he refuses to implement anything to stop it. So why? Everyone's asking why. So here's the answer. So the answer is this. Talk TV says, what was their thing? Their answer? Oh, it's because the corporations backing him, they're putting him under pressure and saying, we need cheap labor. And so because we need cheap labor, he's actually going to let them in, because otherwise there's no labor for the NHS and all that. So I will ask you, really? Really? So they're not annoyed that corporation tax went up from 19% to 25%. No, that doesn't bother them. It doesn't matter to them that these tech monopolies are basically taking over everything and destroying their businesses, and the government isn't doing anything. No, that's not a problem for them. It's not a problem that business rates have been going up, and all forms of rates, and these stupid climate change initiatives. Everyone has to install a heat pump, which is going to cost them renovation of their buildings. None of that bothers them. What bothers them is, we want cheap labor. That's what their number one priority. Come on, guys. Obviously, that is a load of rubbish. That is an absolute lie. That is not corporation's number one priority. It could be one of the things they would discuss with him, but it is not the number one priority in any way. And since he's done worse in those other things and buried them and destroyed them, I don't think they're going to be talking about cheap labor as their number one priority. So that is an absolute lie. The second thing, it improves GDP figures on the surface, which is true. This is true. So Britain currently has 0% GDP growth, but it would be minus 2%. It would be severe recession if you didn't bring in immigrants. Because why? Immigrants come in, they spend money, and that increases. That's how GDP is measured. consumption's a big part, increases GDP. Now, obviously, we know GDP per capita, which is a real measure, has been going down, and with every immigrant you bring in, it goes down and down and down and down. Not every immigrant, every unskilled, retarded, terrible countries, again, the minority of peace. Any of those minority of peace that come in destroys your economy. Other skilled laborers would actually increase productivity, but those can't come in. Those have to go through a very, very difficult process to come in. But if you are a minority of peace benefits applicant, no problem, you'll come in. So these people come in and they destroy everything, but it does keep GDP at least from going above zero. Now, guys, again, no one's fooled. No one's fooled. Housing is catastrophic. You can't get a house. Rent is through the roof. Cost of living is all because of immigration, by the way, all because of immigration, okay? More housing is needed. More rental is needed. Cost of goods and services go up because people are fighting for the same things. Wages have to go up. Why? Because these people aren't working. They're just going on benefits, which means also taxes have to rise. So it's a disaster for everyone and it reduces everyone's standard of living. UK, as we've said before, now has GDP per capita lower than Poland, and on the verge of being lower than Slovakia in 2 years. Okay, that is where the UK is. It imagines itself as a world power when it's really basically a third world country. So this is where we are with these things. So really, what is the real reason? Okay, let's get to the main thing. The real reason is Sunak is just a puppet, and so is Starmer. They're both World Economic Forum puppets Sunak put in place by them, right? Who voted for him? Not the people, and not even his own members. How did he get in there? No one's thinking, how did this guy come from nowhere? Well, he was put in there. How is Starmer in there? Well, he was one of the only big people, leaders at the World Economic Forum in Davos. As everyone, scuttled away, doesn't want to be associated with it, but really behind the scenes he actually said, no, I'm proud. He meets with Bill Gates. He's got no problem. He is 100% a World Economic Forum puppet. Now, why would they do this? Very simple. Sunak's in for 1 year, 2 years, and then what do you think he's going to do the rest of his life? He's quite young. What's he going to do? He'll get a nice consultancy gig. He'll get a nice speaking tour, a book deal that no one buys but somehow gets a 10 million advance. All these things will happen to him and is promised to him if he follows the script. And that is also every MP. Now, if you're an MP that doesn't follow the script, so the only one in the UK Parliament is Andrew Bridgen, who refused to do that, and was immediately fired, right? Immediately fired from the Tory party, which is unheard of. Why would you do that? And they did that because he didn't follow the script. That is the threat hanging on every one of them's head, and more than that, that is the benefit that they would lose out. They would lose out on all that money in future. Again, they're out of office in 2 years. So what do they care? So in 2 years, you might as well make your bed and lie. Make your bed, and then you've got your whole life to earn money, just doing nothing. So that is the entire corrupt political system we have now. Nothing to do with corporations asking them for more immigration. It's because that's what the globalists at the top want for every country. And that's why it's exactly the same for every single country. France and Germany and Holland and US and Canada and everywhere has to be open immigration, because those people, the people you vote, are not in charge. And it's the people at the top that want it. Now, why would they want it? Well, it's to destroy the country, create chaos, create disorder, force you onto digital ID, force you onto central bank digital currency. We'll give you money for free. Give you money for free, right? And then they have total control. And then you are a techno slave. It's techno feudalism, as Vanis Varoufakis says. Techno feudalism, and they will control everything, and you will not be very happy.